Hi everybody, Eric McClellan, editor of Gearhead Daily. I'm very happy to announce to you our very first project that's going to be our flagship car. It is an Superlite SLC. So, what if I told you that you could have a performance car that you build in your garage with Ferrari-like performance, but the price of a Corvette? Best part about this project is you get to build it yourself. You get the pride of being able to touch every single bolt with your two bare hands, and you have a blank slate to work with. We love this project because there's lots of things you can do. There's an infinite number of combinations of power plants and transmissions and paint schemes and interiors. The possibilities are limitless. So let me show you some of the finer points of our SLC. Let me introduce you to the wheels that we picked. There are several different options you can choose from. We chose the 4 stars, painted in a satin black. It looks good against the white. A lot of our friends have called it the Stormtrooper. It's fine by me. It's a cool name. So we've wrapped them in our Falcon FK453 tires. These are 200 tread wear, which we will use in some of our racing series that we have to do. It is a 19 for the rear. It's a 305 30 19 in the front back. And in the front, there's a 275 35 18. Same style, black satin that we had painted. You can pick any color you want. We like the combination of white and black. Seems to be the kind of the trendy thing going now. So let me introduce you to the business end of this car. The business end is in the back, because that's where the engine goes. And this is a mid-engine, rear-wheel drive car. You can go with virtually any engine combination. Small block Chevy, small block Ford. Big block we've seen, although it takes a little bit of work. We decided that we're going to use an LS-based motor because they make great power, make a really good noise. There's lots of them out there, and they're relatively reliable with some good gas mileage. So, engine will go here, right behind our head where all the magic happens. And right behind it is our transmission that we've mocked up, which is a Porsche G5001, and with some transactions we'll install later. So, as soon as we get the motor portion sorted out, we'll let you know. Let me introduce you to one of the things we're very excited about, and that is the suspension. Just look at it. Number 1, it's beautiful. 2, it's billet. And 3, this thing handles like it's on flipping rails. What's not to love? People have asked us what the top speed is. We don't really care what the top speed is. We care about how fast we can take a 90-degree corner outside our front of our house and terrorize the neighbors. That's the point. We got big brakes for stopping fast. We love that. 4 pistons up here. We can upgrade later to the 6 piston if we need to. 4 pistons up front, same size, front and rear. Got our emergency brake here just in case. Hey, you never know. And we've got double adjustable QA1s up top with some pretty trick little suspension. So we're really excited to see how this works. So let's talk interior for a second. Car comes with 2 fiberglass seats. You have to mount yourself. Comes with an e-brake, also comes with a shifter, which we are going to put in very soon. Comes with a set of pedals with all the master cylinders. Comes with a steering rack. Comes with this standard hoop, just in case you get a little spirited and you roll over. But pretty much this is kind of what you get. You're going to get a dash, a plastic fiberglass made dash. You're going to get an AC system, which we've got already installed, which is awesome because these cars do get pretty warm. We're going to have a 5-point harness at some point, and we have AC and heat. What more do you want in a race car? So let's talk front end a little bit. This is what the front end of it looks like. You've got your traditional upper and lower control arm wishbone type suspension with a very raped coilover setup from QA1 with double adjustables. Got your big brakes up front, 4 piston calipers from Chevrolet. We'd opted for the race style front splitter. We were told that it adds a lot of downforce, and that's what we're looking for in a half street, half race car. Got our radiator up front. Air comes up here, and also there's an air inlet up here on the body. I'll show you in just a second. Our AC condenser is here with all of our reservoirs. Steering rack, it's non-power steering, but the steering on this is pretty easy, so it doesn't really you don't really need it that badly. Our coolant pipes from our radiator run along the body, and they will go into the engine and then come back to our dual fan radiator. So that pretty much wraps up things. Let's look at the body and show you the rest of the car. So this is the body. It's all fiberglass 100%. There's a couple gel coat color options you can pick. We went with white once again because we like that color. We found that the gel coat actually looks pretty good, and we decided we're going to run it that way for quite a while until it gets really dinged up. But it's pretty tough. We've experimented on a couple non-conspicuous spots and found that the gel coat is actually pretty tough, and you know, when polished, looks pretty decent. It's not show quality by any means, but it will get the job done. So what you get with this body is you get a blank. You can have Superlite cars fit the body for you and put some doors on and some other things that adds cost. Now we like to build things, so we said don't do any of that. Just leave it as is. And what we decided is we're going to do all the work ourselves. And there's no holes drilled. There's a couple holes drilled, but not for the most part, not a lot. You got to cut out the windshield. You're going to have to cut out the rear window. You have to cut out some of the parts of the door just to make everything look exactly the way you want. Once again, this is a blank slate. You can do whatever you want, and that's why we like. There's no right or wrong answer. There's no judge at some event, looking at your car and saying, that's not the right radiator cap, and like this little mark on a piece of paper that you had the wrong year radiator cap. Nobody cares. This is all about looking good and going fast. So, one of the cool things we like about this car is the doors. Doesn't Lambo, doesn't do that silly, Paganis onto whatever they call it, which is cool, by the way. Doesn't open like a traditional door. These butterfly. And it comes out at a 45-degree angle. Now this took a little bit of work to do, but once you get it right, look at it. How freaking cool that is. You're not gonna see that in any regular car show. So it goes together in 5 separate pieces. There's your main body, there's your front, there's your rear, and there's your 2 doors. So they're all made of completely 100% fiberglass. You do have to get a bit of work to make them fit. As far as the headlights and things like that. But as far as we have found, everything fits really great. So we don't have to do a lot of body work. There's not a lot of fiberglass work you have to do. There's mostly just cutting holes and that sort of thing. If you make a mistake, then you got to do some fiberglass work. But if you don't, if you measure twice, cut once, that old saying, you don't have to. So, and the doors fit great, as you can tell. The body fits together very nicely, so we're not really concerned about body fitment issues. It's more or less aligning the doors for the latches and all those sorts of things. So that will take a little bit of work, but that's expected, and we knew that was coming. So all in all, you put a little sweat equity in this thing, and you've got a one of a kind. So once again, car is going to weigh less than 3,000 pounds. Actually, some estimates say that it's right around anywhere between 2,200 and 2,500 pounds, depending on the options you put with it, how much interior you go, and what engine combination you have with the transmission. That said, this thing is 1,000 pounds lighter than the next lightest sports car. Mustang, Camaro, doesn't matter. It's going to be a heck of a lot lighter. So weight balance is great with the engine being in the back. So a lot of people have asked, why this car? Why not just go out and buy one? Why not buy a Viper or a Corvette and have a lot of fun? You could do that. I'm not that way. I need to get my hands dirty. I need something to do. I need a puzzle to work out. While this isn't a giant jigsaw puzzle, it doesn't work exactly that way. You have to make some parts fit. You have to create some things. You have to take away some things. There's a slight of a bit of an art to this. And that's why none of these cars are exactly the same. And that's cool, and that's why we like it. We went to a car show recently that had 7,000 cars, and that was really great to see that diversity of cars. We didn't see one of these cars. So, number one, we've got exclusivity. 2, I can get my hands dirty. I can tinker with it. I can mess with it a little bit. And number 3, I can say I just didn't go onto the lot and buy it. So, why this car? Why not this car? These things are so much fun. And you get to get your hands dirty. You get to say you've touched every nut and bolt. And, the craftsmanship that comes with it, the welds look great. The upper and lower control arms are just beautiful. You get LS power, mid-engine, Ferrari-like performance, probably even better once you're done with it. You can build it any way you want. For the price of less than a Corvette. I mean, the base kit started at 45,000 bucks. And, once you've added the pieces you need to, which is the fuel, you need to add a drivetrain, and a couple pieces, here and there, you're looking 60, 65, somewhere in there. It's going to take you about 200 to 250 hours if you want to build one of these. So it doesn't make sense to me why I would just go out to the lot and buy one. If I want to do that, I'll go and buy a spec Miata and go racing spec Miata, which is a ton of fun, and I love doing it, but it's not quite the same thing. Just totally different apples and oranges. So a lot of people have asked what the name Grifter is all about. I called it Grifter because I started looking into all these different racing series that I wanted to do, and I found out that it didn't really fit in any class, so it got kind of labeled the cheater car. And a grifter is somebody who comes into town and cheats people out of money. And I thought, well, what better name for a cheater car than Grifter?